December could not have started any better. Honestly, Christmas came early for me, and it has nothing to do with the sniffs. It has to do with the fact that yesterday I gave everybody the opportunity to be a donkey line better. Show me, prove me wrong. Show me that one out of every 5 comments is going to be able to nail 4 out of 5 money lines. I went through over 100 comments. After the first 4 games, I'm like, let's see who got the first 4 right. And then it will come down to this last one. I went through over 100 comments, not a single person. So if you happen to find the one, I quit. I'm like, no, nobody, there's no way, it's not happening. Nobody got these right. And it was just a nice lesson because I got to say, oh, it must be nice being the sports book.
Oh, yes.
So it was a good effort. It was a good learning experience. And really, if you want to be astounded, just go look. And then think, you know what, maybe, just maybe, taking Erik Karlsson for an assist and Sidney Crosby for 2 points for plus 425. Maybe that's a better way to go about it. Maybe taking Jake Neighbors and that whole line for a point at plus 360. Maybe that's a better way of going about assorting these things. And tonight you get another opportunity to do that because it's a Tuesday and there are a ton of NHL sniffs, ton of deals, ton of a lot of stuff on this slate. I don't have time to mince words anymore. I just kind of have to go right into the first deal. And you know, that's the thing about Cyber. Like now, they just keep stretching it. It's Black Friday. You cannot miss out on Black Friday deals. After the weekend, Cyber Monday. It shows the clock at the top of the website. A red countdown clock like you're in Terminator and the world's about to come to an end. And then as soon as that expires, what is it? Cyber Week deals. They're just going to keep extending this to the next holiday and the next holiday. I'm convinced that Amazon has a button, one big button, where the same exact thing, whether it's the Memorial Day sale or Prime Week or Black Friday or Cyber Monday or Cyber Week, they hit one big button and it just does a full turnaround and the same items come out. You can save on me. You can save on me. No, they didn't get them. Turn it around. Next holiday, they come right back out. So I'm going to treat this like another week of Cyber Week deals, just like Amazon does. And we will start in Detroit. I DM'd with him yesterday. We're at the classic December. I mean, the stages of grief. It's the stages of Bong Rips. My favorite month of the year is October. And as I messaged Stevie, I said now his probably is too, because every October they do it to him. They build you up. Now, you learn to become a true fan when you resist the build-up desires. You think I got excited when the Islanders went on that road trip? You got. So Stevie is back to his depressed mode in his stages of Stevie Bong Rips grief. And today he has the Boston Bruins coming into Detroit. But in all honesty, Stevie, it's a new month. So you had the great October, the miserable November, but now come on, can you convince yourself you're gonna find a little something here in December? They're starting you off with a winnable game. You have a severely injury-depleted Boston Bruins team who's keeping their chin above water, just trying to, I don't know, buy time till Pasternak comes back. But this is a team that was supposed to finish bottom of the NHL. They're overperforming. Boston always seems to pull something out of their arse. However, because Pasternak's not in that lineup, because McAvoy's not in that lineup, you have just a few key players who literally have to do everything if they're going to score. In losses, they're the ones who score. In wins, they're the ones who score. And I'm looking at that key group of 2 to 3 players who are responsible for everything while Pasternak's out. So we know that they got, middle stat back. Arvidsson's coming back in this game. But those are the secondary guys. I'm looking at the top line, a guy who came back. He's centering the top line. He's on the top power play. He's currently playing with their leading goal scorer, who isn't Pasternak. It's a red-hot Morgan Geekie. I mean, he's been hot since the season started. And I'm talking about Elias Lindholm. He has 4 points in his last 2. I'm not going to say that he's playing great. He's an opportunity. You know how everyone's a merchant now? Oh, he's a Panarin merchant. That's why Trocheck had that year. Well, he's an opportunity merchant. He's got to do everything, There aren't many offensive pieces, so if Boston's going to win, it's going to be in a low-scoring fashion, or if they lose and they get some crusty goals like against the Rangers, it's going to be Geeky and Lindholm, and Lindholm showing me a plus 115, and that's the one that I'm going to take. Now, I felt compelled to do it. I got to go double Lindholm. Give me a Lindholm for a point and a Lindholm for an assist. That's plus 400 right there. Then let's go from the Bong Rips residence up to Montreal, where the Canadiens are going to be taking on the Ottawa Senators. Now, on the Patreon, I have a bunch of Canadiens fans, a couple of people from Montreal, so, they get a little offended when I bring up roller hockey. So I won't do anything like that. I'll commend the Montreal Canadiens for some great performances out west. But now you know what they say, long flight home. Usually that first game home after a long road trip is a little bit sluggish. So do we want to look at any Montreal Canadiens deals? I'm going to look at the other side because I see a deal over there in Ottawa. Anytime somebody comes back from injury, it presents not just one opportunity, it presents multiple opportunities. Cough, cough, Josh Norris yesterday. Now, I know I made the video and I gave that Zach Benson and Tage Thompson play. We learned during the day that Josh Norris actually was going to come back and be centering those two guys. So wait, what did I do then? No, I just took the whole line for a point at plus 490, and we enjoyed that very much. That guy that comes back offers a plus. Like, if Josh Norris plays with Tage Thompson for another 2 weeks, you think he's staying at plus 115 for a point, which is what he was yesterday? So when somebody comes back from injury, that price usually provides an opportunity, if not just for that guy, his price is usually deflated to the point where a combo gets pretty exciting. And that's exactly what I see, because in that first game back, we learned where he was slotted in the lineup. We knew he was going to be on the top power play, but were they going to put him with Stützle? Were they going to put him with someone else? And they did put him with someone else. They put him with D.Cozens, Fabian Zetterlund on the second line there. But more importantly, him and Cozens were up on the top power play. So now if you're telling me Tkachuk is playing with Cozens and Cozens is put on that top power play, there's no way his point can be north of plus 110. Like, that should be the max. Come on, you're going north of plus 120, north of plus 125. Yeah, we're taking that. We're taking that. And now is when someone's going to say, this guy hasn't had a point in fight. How many of those games did he play with Brady Tkachuk next to him the whole time? And how many did he play with random carnies they sprinkled next to him? They didn't even have Ridley Gregg to put over there. But now you got Tkachuk playing with him, and he's going to be on that top power play, who Tkachuk adds an extra wrinkle to so it could potentially be more effective. So this D.Cozens point against the Montreal Canadiens, who you can score against. I won't talk about a certain type of hockey. By the way, I swear to you, I don't know if there's an announcer who watches this show. There was a game on 2 nights ago. Which one was it? The guy said they're playing some roller hockey defense out there. So one of these announcers is watching this show. Just look, you don't have to give me credit. Here's what you do. If you bring up roller hockey defense on the broadcast, just act like you got the sniffles. And they're playing some roller hockey out there, and just pretend like you got a sniffle. That's the hidden signal to me. The sniff is the on-air hidden signal. I'm an Andy Francess guy. So let's see if D.Cozens is an Andy Francess guy, because I will be taking him tonight and pairing him with Brady Tkachuk, which will bring you around plus 220 and a little line mate same game parlay. That's not really the only guy who's in a similar situation as D.Cozens. It's a little bit different, but if I told you somebody was going to be playing with the hands down best player on a team, and that person was also going to be on the top power play, that should sound pretty exciting. Until I bring up the team, but it should still sound kind of exciting, because I'm talking about Jonathan Marchessault. And I know if you're thinking, oh, come on, it's the Predators. They go up, they go down, they get put them with Stamkos. No, not so much. Nashville had a couple of good games. They lost the last game, but before that, they had a couple of games in a row where you pretty much guaranteed had Stamkos, O'Reilly, and Evangelista playing together. That line's going to stay together. You had Marchessault and Forsberg together for that first game that they won. I know Marchessault had to miss a game. I don't know exactly what the injury was or what the deal was. So they just put Forsberg with Haula and whoever else was available. But now that Marchessault's coming back, he waltzes into the lineup. He's playing with Forsberg and Haula, I believe, but he's on the top power play with Forsberg against the Calgary Flames, who, these are the Flames games are usually crusty games. The last game they played was 0-0 going into overtime on Sunday night. However, I'm just not going to pass on good opportunities. You see how that works out. You saw how it worked out yesterday. You take enough of them, you can afford the luxury of missing this one, missing that one. If you nail just a few of them, and that's what I'm going to be looking to do here, give me Jonathan Marchessault for a point against the Calgary Flames, playing with Forsberg on that top line and top power play. And then Cyber Week continues up there in Edmonton, where you got the Oilers taking on the Minnesota Wild. Which Oilers are we going to get? Are we going to get the disgraced Oilers, where there's no way this team's going to do anything? They lose every important game. They got crushed on their own home ice. Or the one that goes to Seattle and easily shuts them out? No big deal. You can get any Edmonton imaginable. This could be a shutout, or they can get absolutely waxed. I don't know. I really don't know. Anyway, I'm looking at the Minnesota side. That Danila Yurov was centering Kaprizov and Zuccarello, and he was getting points pretty frequently. For a guy who just got thrust into that position, he was kind of scooping up points on the semi-regular. When considering his price, he made those line combos pop. Now I'm seeing somebody who, we've trusted before. I mean, it's not a Jennifer Lopez type of level of if you had my sniff and I gave you all my trust. But we have a pretty good guy that we've taken before in R.Hartman, who's going to be centering Kaprizov and Zuccarello against the Edmonton Oilers. The only thing is, just like Europe, you're not going to get that top power play. The top power play is cemented. It is what it is. But I think when you're playing with one of the best players in the NHL, Kaprizov's like a Hart Trophy level player, and you're playing with a great setup man in Zuccarello, you just got to be there. You just got to be there. Get to the front of the net. Something could bank off your skate and go in. It's a very good opportunity. Yes, it's not the top power play, but I think playing with those two guys on the top line is decent enough to enjoy a plus 135 point for R.Hartman against the Edmonton Oilers, who any given game could give up 7, 8, 9, 10 goals. And we will utilize this sneaky power play 2 forward with the power play 2 defenseman. You can give me Hartman for a point and Brock Faber for an assist. I mean, one goal, one simple play can pull you up plus 535. You got to admit, one simple play cashing a potential plus 535, it's got to feel good. The game could just absolutely not be going your way. The St. Louis Blues, they scored one goal in the game, and we hit all our bets that we had associated with it. That's a good feeling, because if I had to pick a donkey line there, I would have taken the Blues. Anaheim playing in the second half of back-to-backs. They're playing awful defense, don't have Doe style. Yeah, we got to be taking the Blues, who have been playing better. Nope. Yeah, but that's actually why I took some player props on that top line. We took that line, cashed the plus 360. I feel like we robbed them. We should have lost, but we won, and that's what I'll be doing here with Hartman and Brock Faber for an assist against the Edmonton Oilers. And one last deal before I go. The Sunday of Cyber Week deals. I'm seeing the Chicago Blackhawks go to Vegas to take on the Golden Knights. Vegas, it's never going to be an extremely easy place to play. But as I always like to say, a deal is a deal, and we saw San Jose go in there, score 3 goals. You can score on the Vegas Golden Knights, especially in a game that they might be overlooking. And I'm seeing T.Teravainen playing on that second line with Nazar and Bertuzzi, and he showed his price doesn't align with the other two, and to me it doesn't make sense. If those 3 guys are all in the same position, if I'm running the prices on these, they're all not going to be that different. They will range from minus 115 to max plus 100, because they're all the same guy. They're on the ice at the same times. They're on the same power play. There shouldn't be such a disparity. So in these types of situations, give me the guy with the best point, which is T.Teravainen by far, which is why I will take his point against the Vegas Golden Knights. And you know him. He's one of those passers. He's not a shooter whatsoever. So give me the guy who's plopped in front of the net, Bertuzzi for a point, and T.Teravainen for an assist, plus 400. They can lose this game 5-2. They can get a useless power play goal. We can nail that. That's the goal for me. A combo that is not plus 400 in terms of the chances of it actually happening. Chicago's a team who can score. They scored 6 goals in their last game. If you took this bet last game, it would have hit. And I'm hoping it's going to hit once again against the Vegas Golden Knights. That is what I have for you here on a busy Tuesday. Good luck to you. Better luck to me. I got some of that better luck last night. Make sure you're subscribed here to the YouTube channel. If you're enjoying these lessons, you're enjoying learning how to sniff, give me those tier 1 favors. Like, comment, subscribe, click the notifications. The tier 2 favors, hype if you got some hypes left. Let other people see these videos. Share these videos with whoever. Help me make this channel grow. And then lastly, but not leastly, if you want to be the biggest supporter of this show, if you want to buy into this show, you want to be a minority owner, you can do that by joining over at the Patreon. It's patreon.com/Andy Francess. You'll also get weekend sniffs there. You'll get the I sent the Josh Norris updates. I know people comment, hey, are you still on this knowing that Josh Norris is... Do you think I have time to, on an hourly basis, scroll through all the new comments and then answer a question? So if you want those type of things, that's going to be over at the Patreon. Like I said, patreon.com/Andy Francess. I hope to see you over there. If not, I will see you either tomorrow or Thursday for the next round of NHL Sniffs. And I have to travel this weekend, so there may be, I don't know, the schedule may be a little bit altered, but I'll keep you updated on that. Take it easy. I will talk to you later.